Thanks for watching, London. Today we have a special one-on-one interview with my special guest, not a stranger to you guys. You've seen him in last season's interviews, and this is a one-on-one interview with author, life coach, and motivational specialist, PaulMalik.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about what we can expect with you in 2012, because I understand that you're doing a lot of awesome things in this year alone. And one of the things that I learned about was your book, your first book.
Well, there's a lot of things that's, like you said, is coming up this year. Back-to-back events that's going to be happening in 2012. It's been a long time coming. But yes, the book is coming out, and the book is called Oneself, The Road Back to Self-Discovery.
Okay. Oneself. What sparked the creation and the inspiration to write Oneself?
Well, let's say it like this. I fell asleep in life, and I detoured and lost myself. And Oneself, it was a awakening for me. Back to self-consciousness. And I had to take that road back to become who I authentically supposed to be.
Besides the book, I know that you're launching an online talk show. Can you tell us about the talk show?
The online talk show is called Momentum TV. And momentum is that thing that drives you.
Yes.
To do better, to think better,
yes,
to do better, to leap better, to soar, to better things economically, health-wise, emotionally, socially. Because I've been there. You know, and I'm still, and I can be a little transparent now and say, I'm still making my way through the process of certain things in this holistic part of life.
So the message that essentially I'm gathering from what you are presenting to us is that momentum actually is a culmination of all of your experiences that's becoming this drive that's taking you inevitably somewhere.
You can actually say that. And like I forestated, I was asleep. Sleep, and many a times in life, we fall asleep. And we're not conscious of the people, places, and things that's around us.
Yes.
And when we fall asleep, that's when we allow distractions to come.
Right.
Certain situations. So the momentum that's inside of all of us, the momentum that's inside of us now drives us, provokes us to go where we ultimately see ourselves going, or before we was interrupted.
Life before the interruption. I'm not even gonna mess with that. I'm not even gonna mess with that. Life before the interruption.
Because what were you doing before you was interrupted? And I can say for myself, I was headed to places that, and I can say I was 5 years behind schedule in life. But there's a biblical principle or a biblical scripture that I can live by, is that God will restore unto the years that the cankerworm and the palmer worm have stolen. So it's up to us to wake up.
Wake up. The awakening.
And now get to the point that we wake up out of this deep sleep and now go and get our life back. And I was interrupted for 5-6 years of a deep sleep. And if anybody ever been in a sleep, a deep sleep, you don't want to be bothered, you don't want to be touched, you don't hear nothing around you. People said things to me, people encouraged me, people prophesied, spoke good words to me, but I didn't hear anything because I was still asleep. You know what I'm saying? So when I hit that moment and I heard the alarm go off.
Yes.
The alarm get up, and I had to wake up and say, okay, it's time to get my life back. So if you ever been in a situation that your life is at a halt, it's time to wake up. And this is your moment to wake up and get it back.
It's almost like a person, because, you mind if I interject?
Yeah.
I can relate 100% to what you just said. And the thing I like about how we communicate is that we use our life to inspire other people. And so while thinking about what you just said, I can use my own situation, because literally what you just said, life before the distraction, I can relate to that 100.1%. Because I myself have been through an experience where I had a distraction. I got married at 18, and you pinpointed it like to the T when you said 6 years of a distraction. I had 7 years of a marriage that ended after 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Of a distraction. So even after going through all of that,
and you was still 5 years
sleep after.
Okay.
After I was still asleep and arriving to a place where when I woke up, life was a scary place, because I no longer knew who I was. I no longer knew where I was, what I was doing. Things that were normal to me were no longer normal. And it's like, okay, I have to get back to me. How am I going to find myself? So would you say that oneself is, you described it as a journey back to self-discovery, but could that be one of the possible messages behind the book of oneself?
Yes, it is. That's the ultimate drive. Is that journey, and is that experience. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't care what we go through.
Right.
We gonna lose, and you don't want to lose yourself.
Right.
In bad relationships, dealing with Joe, Mary, Shaquana, Tyrone, you know what I'm saying? And you're dealing with them, and they break your self-esteem down.
Right.
Break your real identity.
Right.
Because you're being controlled, you're being manipulated,
right.
You're being turned out. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And when do you take control of you? You know what I'm saying? You have to take control now, and that's the point of the journey.
Right.
And that's the most awesome part about this whole life experience, is that journey back. Because people say, I wish I could do it all over again. Yeah, you can. You really can. You really can, but with more wisdom and with more knowledge that you have now. I thought it would never happen. People say you can't do it over again. Yes, you can. You can do it over again. And you have to go to the place where you was interrupted at. And then you start all over again. Because that's when your life ended.
So would you say that that's a possible mistake that a lot of people make, is that they're trying to start a new beginning from the end?
Exactly. Exactly. And you have to go back to start all over again. How you gonna start a new beginning
at the end?
At the end. And yeah, y'all say the first shall be last and the last shall be first. Yeah, I understand the scriptures for the